So this story has been making the rounds for the past few days. I first heard about it on TikTok, but it also got transitioned into the YouTube community, especially from those who live in the Philippines. Now, there's an American YouTuber by the name of Elliot Eastman. I never heard of this guy before, but he's originally from Vermont, and he's an expat that lives in the Philippines. He's married to a Muslim woman who lives in Cebu, which is in the Zamboanga del Norte region, which is in the Mindanao Islands of the Philippines. Mindanao, which is the largest island of the Philippines. He got kidnapped a few days ago by four men, from what I heard. And these four men dressed up as police officers. And when he tried to fight them off, he got shot in the leg, eventually got abducted, and got taken off on a speedboat. Based on what some people assume, they assumed that the people who kidnapped him claimed an Islamic State. Because that Elliot was probably not a Muslim man, but being married to a Muslim woman, that's what probably also happened. And some people blame his Muslim wife for all of this happening. However, based on information on his videos, his own videos, and clips of him bragging about the fears of possibly being kidnapped, and also bragging about the money that he spent to get his place fixed up, to also doing some business with some people over there, despite Cebu, from what I learned, has a huge increase in poverty. Those are probably also the reasons why. And then he posted it in the public forum, like YouTube. That's what probably attracted these people to kidnap him. I'm an atheist, and I used to have a crush on a Muslim woman who used to be a friend of mine for like 2.5 years. She initiated the one night stand that happened between us in 2020, but she wanted it for like the past 2 years. And after it happened, unfortunately, it destroyed our friendship since it was her fault, and it really affected her a lot. I could probably assume that relationship would never happen between us because of my atheism and her Muslim faith. For Elliot Eastman to brag about the fears of being kidnapped and posting it online, those were some red flags. And also the money that he was bragging about spending, those were red flags too. Now, Tim K, who is an American YouTuber who lives in the Philippines, and he's married to a Filipino woman, and they have a son together. He's made about 3 videos so far about this situation. And there's so much great information that he mentioned that anybody out there should take to not end up like another Elliot Eastman. Now, I learned a long time ago, if people are talking about to never go to these certain cities that has a crime statistic that is really high, I would not go there. Not only is for the protection of my safety, but for the future of my life. But hopefully Elliot Eastman is still with us. He's still alive. I know that the Cebu police are still trying to look for him. They're also offering 150,000 Philippine peso for information about him to save him and capture these bastards who did this to him. Now, I will say that the Philippines is a hotbed for a lot of foreign men, especially for older Caucasian men who usually go there, spend a lot of money looking for a young Filipino woman, and they end up marrying them and just spoiling them for the rest of their lives. Now, when I was in the Philippines last year, I was in the Mindanao region, but I was in the Val del Sur, Davao City. My significant other currently, who I've known for 11 years, her and her family, I've known her for 11 years now. She had an interest in me for a long time, and I decided to go ahead and finally meet her for the first time last year. Well, I was disappointed with my time there, which is why I didn't document much of my time in the Philippines over there. And nothing romantic ever happened between us when I was there because she was extremely shy around me. And also when I was there, I didn't have fears of other people over there, but I did have fears of another natural disaster because Philippines is bound to have a lot of natural disasters. And days before I went there was a natural disaster that happened. I think it was a typhoon from what I remember. Elliot Eastman's story should be a lesson for any foreigner out there, no matter what country you go to. And to the people who brag about these quote unquote passport bros, let me tell y'all something. Love is love. It doesn't matter if you're in love with someone in the same country as you. It doesn't matter if you're in love with someone who is in a different country as you. It doesn't matter if you're in love with someone who is a different race as you. It doesn't matter if you're in love with someone who is the same sex as you. Love is love. My heart goes out to the family of Elliot Eastman, and I hope he is still with us. But that's all I got to say. So I'm going to see you there.